Welcome back again, Gameyaaad family, to another video. Thank you, so much for joining us. It's always a delight when you have joined us on this channel. Sometimes I would have watched so many cricket matches over the course of 2024, and sometimes you would have seen, a great performance, and you are saying to yourself, probably this is the best performance of the year. And then you watch another match, then you see another great performance, another match, you see another great performance. And so, at the end of the year, you are thinking, what is the best performance I would have seen throughout the year, right? And so it is against this background I'm going to share with you, in my opinion, the top 10 performances I would have seen over 2024. And it will be right across the board, be it red ball cricket, be it pink ball cricket, be it white ball cricket, right? I'm going to look on performances such as, individual performances, team performances, partnerships throughout the year, right? So stay tuned. We have some exciting stuff here to share, and just want to encourage you, if you have not subscribed to the channel as yet, I would encourage you to do so. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I would have uploaded any content to the channel, right? Alright, so without further ado, let us get right into the meat of the matter. Alright, so my first pick, and so what I will do first, I will discuss the 10 performances, and then at the end of the video I will rank them. Alright, so stay tuned. So my first performance I would have seen was that, Boxing Day test. There were so many Boxing Day tests, but this test between Afghanistan and Zimbabwe, which was in Bulawayo, I think it was the first test match starting on December 26th to December 30. And to be honest, it was a runs fest, but the standout performance for me was that partnership between the captain Hashmatullah Shahidi and Ramat Shah. Right, they would have made a 364 run partnership in that game. It was beautiful thing to watch. Two players, they would have battled an entire day. So Captain Shahidi, he would have broken the national record with the highest runs by an Afghan in Test cricket. He would have scored 246 runs, and Shah would have scored 234 runs. So Zimbabwe would have scored 586 in the first innings, in their first innings, and Afghan would have replied with 699 runs. And Shahidi is also the first Afghanistan player to score 2 double centuries. So that partnership was breaking 364 runs partnership. Alright, so the next performance I will be looking on is that 210 partnership by Tilak Varma and Sanju Samson at Johannesburg. It was T20I between South Africa and India, right? It was raining 6s and 4s in Johannesburg, and that 210 came off only just 93 delivery. It was a blistering knock between Tilak Varma and Sanju Samson. and they scored at a blistering strike rate of 236.5. Right? They would have, in the process, they would have, hit 15 fours and 19 sixes. It was breathtaking. I'm telling you, it was a staggering knock between the two. I watched this game live, and I, could hardly believe what I was seeing. I'm a big fan of Sanju Samson as well as Tilak Varma. I think these are two players to watch in 2025. And don't forget, this knock was an unbeaten partnership, 210 unbeaten partnership. So Tilak Varma in the process, he would have scored 120 runs, not out of 47 balls, and he would have scored at a blistering strike rate of 255.31. Right, and Sanju Samson would have scored 109 not out from 56 deliveries. He would have scored at a strike rate of 194.64. Right, and they would have continued their good form in the series. Right, in the process, for the entire series, Tilak Varma would have, played 4 matches in that series, and he would have scored man of the series runs of 280 runs at an average of 140. Right? He was sensational in this, T20 series in South Africa. And he would have scored at a strike rate of 198.58, and he would have scored 200 in that series. Sanju Samson, on the other hand, he would have scored 216 from his 4 matches at an average of 72, and he would have scored at a strike rate of 194.59, with also 2 centuries in the process. So these 2 batters, they were sensational in this T20 series. So the next performance would have been Zimbabwe breaking that T20 record. They would have scored a massive 344 from their 20 overs. And this was a match against Gambia in the men's T20 World Cup African Sub-Regional Qualifier Tournament in 2024. And Sikandar Raza, he would have spearheaded that record breaking run. He would have scored 133 runs from 43 deliveries. And if I can backtrack a bit, he would have scored this century from just 33 deliveries. And he became the first Zimbabwean to score a century in that format of cricket. And Zimbabwe would have also broken the record for scoring 27 sixes in that in one T20 innings, right? Sikandar Raza would have scored 15 sixes out of that 27, so the rest of the team would have scored 12 sixes, right? And they would have eclipsed the record scored by Nepal. They would have scored 26 for that record, but Zimbabwe would have broken it. And also Zimbabwe would have become the first team to score 344, right? And they would have broken the record held by Nepal. Nepal would have scored 340, right, from their allotted 20 overs. And so Gambia's reply, they would have been bundled out for 50 runs, and Zimbabwe winning that match by a massive 290 runs. That was just breathtaking watching Sikandar Raza. And we know that Sikandar Raza is a very, talented cricketer. You would have seen him in most of the, the T20 tournaments around the world, right? So that was a great performance also for me in 2024. So let us move on to the next performance. This is another partnership performance, and it is in the IPL between Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head. Boy, these two batters, they were, just magical in this IPL series, right? Both of them, amassed 599 runs at the top of the innings for Sunrisers, Hyderabad, right? And they would have scored at 599 in just 13 innings at a blistering strike rate of 220. Why these two, they were just a cut above the rest. And one of the great performances I will never forget is that 167 that they would have scored in 9.4 overs against the Lucknow Super Giant. That was just sensational. It's something to watch. It was just electric. The way how Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head, they were just sensational at the top of the innings, right? Against Lucknow, Abhishek Sharma would have scored 75 from 28 deliveries, right? And he would have scored 8 fours and 6 sixes in the process at a strike rate of 267.85. Right? Ed, on the other hand, he would have scored 89 from just 30 deliveries with 8 fours and 8 sixes, right? At a strike rate of 296.66. That was just, breathtaking. These two, they were just sensational in the 2024 edition of the Indian Premier League. We, are looking forward to see them in 2025, hopefully. So the next performance I will be looking on is that, that partnership between Herbrook and Joe Root. That first test in Malton, October 7 to 11, right? They would have scored 454 run partnership from 519 deliveries at a strike rate of 87.48, right? And the average runs that they would have scored in that partnership is over 5 runs, 5.4 to be exact. That was just serious, ball striking. Root would have scored a big double 100, and Herbrook would have scored a triple century. Now Herbrook would have scored 317 in that innings, and he would have taken 322 deliveries to make that 317. Joe Root, on the other hand, he would have scored 262 of 375 deliveries. I'm telling you, it was just a joy to watch those two, going to work in Pakistan, right? Especially in that first test. The other performance I will be looking on is still in Pakistan, England against Pakistan in that test match. So England would have won the first test, and the Pakistani creators, they would have gone back to their basic, and they would have prepared Turner for the next match, and they would have prepared another Turner for the other test. Boy, I tell you, Nouman Ali and Sajid Khan, they were superb. They are not any, the greatest bowlers in the test arena, or best bowlers in the world as it relates to spin bowling, but they were just sensational in this series, or the rest of the series. So in the remaining 2 matches, they would have taken 39 of the 40 wickets, right? That was just breathtaking. breathtaking. Telling you, it was just breathtaking. Norman Ali, in the two matches, he would have taken 20 wickets, right, at an average of 13.85, right, with an economy of 3.04. He would have taken 2 fifers or 5 wicket calls in the process, right. Sajid Khan, on the other hand, would have taken 19 wickets from his two matches, and at an average of 21.1 with an economy of 4.42. And he would have taken 1 4-wicket haul and 2 5-wicket haul in the process. These two, we may never see them again together, to be honest with you, but these matches, they were just, a joy to watch. Telling you, how they, rip apart English batting line. So I've been, gone through so many partnerships. Now we will go, to a team performance. And it was in the T20 World Cup, Pakistan against USA. And when USA would have, made it in the World Cup, because they would have been one of the host nations. Many people think that they were just, making up numbers. But USA, they played a superb game against Pakistan. I think it is the 11th match in the T20 World Cup. And mark you, these wickets, they were not the best, but USA did perform well against Pakistan. So they would have, Pakistan would have batted first, and they would have scored 159 for 7, right? And USA in USA in reply, they would have scored 159 as well for 3, and their standout batter would have been Manank Patel. He would have scored 50 from 38 deliveries, and Aaron Jones, he would have scored 36 not out from 26 deliveries. So the highlight of the game was in that final over, bowled by Ralph. So USA wanted 15 to win the game, right? In that final over, then it was 12 of 3 deliveries, and then 5 of 1 deliveries, and it actually went to super over. And in that super over, USA would have defended 18 runs. They would have batted first and made 18 runs, right? And Pakistan in reply, they would have made 13, for 1. And I was watching the game, and Pakistan just folded under pressure, right? I do not understand, how they allowed the game to this point. There were just so many overthrows and stuff, misfeeling, and stuff. So Pakistan just fold as a big, T20 nation, just fold under pressure, right? And I'm not taking away anything from USA, because they actually played very well in the World Cup. Yeah, they were one of these bright lights in the World Cup. Alright, so my next performance I'll be looking on is Pathum Nissanka. His performance against England at the Oval. It was the 3rd test. Sri Lanka down 2-0 in the series, and Pathum Nissanka, he was not selected for the series, but he later joined in the 3rd test, and boy, I'm telling you, he was just he's one of my, he's a player that I really like to watch, and just giving you away some information here. He's one of my players to watch in 2025, and stay tuned for that video. I will be doing a video on players to watch in 2025. And so Pathum Nissanka came in that 3rd test, and in the first innings he scored 60, right? He scored, in fact, he scored 64 to be exact. And in that tricky fourth innings at the Oval, he scored a century. Boy, he was just hitting the ball so well. He played with a lot of freedom, and that would have given him enough confidence to play the ball on its merit. And the good thing about these two innings, he scored better than run a ball. In the first innings, he would have scored 64 from 51 deliveries, at a strike rate of 125.49. And in the second innings, he would have scored 127 from 124 deliveries. He was just sensational with 13, 4, and 2 sixes at an average, at a strike rate of 102.41. Pattern Nisanka was just sensational. So at the end, Sri Lanka would have won that test match. And Sri Lanka haven't won in England since 2014. So it was just beautiful innings. Beautiful two innings Pattern Nisanka. So we would have looked at 8 performances already, and now we are down to the final. Please share your comments in the comment section. You may not agree with all that I would have said, so share your ideas in the comment section. I really value your comments, and I will reply to all of them. And if you have not hit that subscribe button as yet, please hit that subscribe button, right? And turn on the bell so that you can be notified whenever we would have uploaded any content to the channel. Alright, so let us move on to number 2, the last two basically. So the next performance I will be looking on is Shamar Joseph. Magical, historical win by the West Indies at the Gabba. Australia would have been set 216 to win, and at one point Australia would have been at 113 for 2. So Shamar Joseph would not have bowled overnight. I think he was having some issues with his toe, and so he came in the following day at about the 28th over. Australia would have been at 98 for 2 at the time, if memory serves me right, and Shamar Joseph bowled 11.5 over on the track. He was bowling, overs after over. When he reached 5 over, I thought, to myself, he will take some rest. He was just bowling. He was hitting those Yorker lengths consistently. He was bowling full, and he was moving the ball off the pitch. I'm telling you, that was just sensational to watch. I'm telling you guys. And this historic win in Australia will be in the minds of in West Indian fans for a long time. Shamar Joseph came from a little community in Guyana. Not many people know of Shamar Joseph prior to this test match, and he just announced himself on the international scene with a great one that is up there. It will always be in the folklore of West Indies history, right? So he came in, he was in really good rhythm, and I was watching him keenly in that test. The way he approached, when you see a bowler approaching the crease that way with so much aggression and so much he had so much energy coming to the wicket. He had so much energy, and when you see that from a bowler approaching that crease with so much aggression and energy, you know that he is in good rhythm, right? And as I said, Shamar Joseph would have bowled 11.5 overs on the track, right? And he would have taken 7 for 68 in the process. 7 for 68, right? And that would have delivered a win for West Indies in Australia since 1998. Since 1998, we have not won in Australia. That was, and I just can feel the joy, coming back, having, won that day night pink ball test at the Gabba. That was just, something to behold, All right. So the final performance we will be talking about is, how can you talk about top 10 performance without including Jashpreet Bumrah? And it was, a bit of challenge for me to select the best, performance throughout the year, because Jashpreet Bumrah was just sensational. He was just magical in 2024. Jashpreet Bumrah is a bowler. It doesn't matter how flat the wicket is. He will generate bounce. He will generate movement. No other bowler is getting anything out of the wicket. Jashpreet. He will, get some purchase out of the wicket. He's just a skillful bowler. That wrist action that he has, or he utilizes wrist, is just something to watch. And Jashpreet Bumrah for me is one of the greatest bowlers I have watched in all 3 formats. He is just sensational right across T20, one-day cricket, and test matches. And not to give credence to the other world-class bowlers in the past that would not have played T20 cricket, but I'm telling you, Jashpreet Bumrah is just above the rest for me. And so Jashpreet now, I would have selected his performance in the T20 World Cup. And I'm going to give you some statistics here. So in the T20 World Cup, Jashpreet would have played 8 games, and he would have taken 15 wickets in total, and at an average of 8.26, at an economy of 4.17, right? But I'm going to give you some more finer details as to the reason why Jashpreet was just sensational in that T20 World Cup. So Jashpreet Bumrah, he would have taken a wicket every 11.2 deliveries in the World Cup. He would have had figures of 3 for 14, 3 for 7, 2 for 18, right? And he came up against Pakistan. That is normally a big sellout game because of the rivalry between the 2 nations. So Pakistan would have needed 40 runs from 36 deliveries, and Jashpreet came in. Once India needed a wicket, they will give Jashpreet Bumrah the ball. He's just that good. So Pakistan needed 40 runs from 36 deliveries, and Bumrah came in, and he would have taken Rizwan wicket, and he would have bowled an over that cost only 3 runs. Right? These are high pressure situations in the game. Right? Not many bowlers can hold their nerves in these. We call it death overs in cricket. Right? Not many bowlers can manage the pressure. And Jashpreet came in and he bowled a 3-run over, taking the wicket of Rizwan in the process. Right? Then he came back when Pakistan needed 20 runs. He came back and he bowled another 3-run over, and he would have got the wicket of Iftikhar. That was just magical in those moments of the game. So in the final against South Africa wanted 30 from 30 deliveries. And Josh Prick came in and he bowled a 4-run over. He was just hitting the good areas consistently. And then he came back. South Africa wanted 22 from 18. He came back and he bowled a 2-run over. Can you imagine in those high pressure situations? And as I said, Josh Prick, he was just magical. And in the process, as you would have known, India would have won that T20 World Cup, something that they have not done for quite a while. They wanted to win, especially Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. They wanted to win that World Cup, and they actually did. I think shortly after that World Cup, they would have retired from T20 cricket. Right, so that's a 10 for me, and I will be ranking them from 10 to 1. So just stay tuned for that. Right now, I will be ranking each performance, and I will give you a chance to do your ranking. I'll give you a moment to do so. All right, now I will be ranking from 10 to number 1. All right, so coming in at number 10, it would be that team performance by Zimbabwe against Gambia. They would have broken the T20 record by scoring 344 runs, and that was spearheaded by Sikandar Raza. He would have made 133 runs. And coming in at number 9 would be that performance, that partnership by Hashmatullah Shahidi and Ramat Shah. They would have scored 364 run partnership. That would be against Zimbabwe. Coming in at number 8 would be that individual performance by Pathum Nissanka. He would have made 64, 127 in that third test against England. Right, coming in at number 7 would be that partnership between Harry Brook and Joe Root in Pakistan, and they would have scored 454 run partnership. That was just exceptional. Right, coming in at number 6 would have been that partnership between Sanju Samson and Tilak Varma. That's a 201, an unbeaten 210 run partnership against South Africa in Johannesburg. Coming in at number 5 would be that team performance by USA against Pakistan in the T20 World Cup in the Caribbean and USA. Coming in at number would have been that performance by Noman Ali and Sajid Khan. Boy, I tell you, I just love that performance by those two. Was just sensational. Coming in at number 3 would be Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head in the IPL, scoring 599 runs together in 13 innings. It's just out of this world, And so we are down to the last 2. These 2, I know you will agree that these 2 are really the 2 best performances of 2024. So coming in at number 2 would be Shamar Joseph at the Gabba, 7 for 68 with an injured toe. That was just sensational, historic for the West Indies, and that will be in the minds of our West Indian fans for a long time. Magical. by Shamar Joseph announcing himself in the test arena. Simply sensational. Drum roll. Number one, coming in at number one is of course Jasprit Bumrah in the T20 World Cup. Well, Jasprit is out of this world. Well, he's just clinical when it comes down to the deck bowling. And so as I said before, if you have any comments, or you would have shared other thoughts, please share them in the comment section. This is my top 10 for 2024. All right, thank you so much for watching. Like I would have always said, we do enjoy your company here on Gameyaaad TV, and we really value your support. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and to comment on the video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.